What is up, my friends? Welcome to Flippin' Bats. The Tokyo series is underway, and I am exhausted. Game started at 3 a.m. Pacific time. I last night made the decision to not go to sleep, stay awake, and really just push through the game. And around the seventh or eighth inning, I really regretted that decision and was exhausted, but I did make it. I made it up through the game. I did get a couple hours of sleep, but here we are to talk all about it. And I wouldn't say we're thriving, but we're here and we're going to do this. Tokyo Series, Major League Baseball officially underway. Dodgers win game one of the year, 4-1 in the Tokyo Dome. And the dream of going 162 and 0 is still alive for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Um, Mariners in 2001, all-time record of 116 wins. That hasn't really been sniffed since then. But if there's any team that could push for that in the regular season, I would say it's going to be this Dodgers team. Do they get to 116? Highly, highly unlikely. But you can't go 162 and 0 without going 1 and 0. Remember that. What a cool game. What a cool series this is. So much to talk about here. Obviously, the game itself, the starting pitching matchup, Yamamoto and Imanaga were really good. Shohei Ohtani, really good performance as well. We'll talk about the game itself. We'll talk about game two. We'll talk about Freddie Freeman not playing in game one. Kind of a last second scratch. We got an update on him and a quote from him and his likeliness to play in game two and what's next for him. Roki Sasaki and Justin Steele taking the mound in this next game in game two. Roki Sasaki's story is just truly emotional, and it's a heartbreaking story. It's a fantastic story in so many ways as well. So going to talk all about Roki Sasaki and him taking the mound here in game two. But game one, we immediately got to start game one with Shota Imanaga on the mound, Shohei Ohtani at the plate. First batter, first pitcher matchup of Japanese-born players in a regular season MLB game at the Tokyo Dome in history. So cool. It's what everybody was waiting, everybody was wanting. Shohei Ohtani did end up having a really good performance in the game. Went 2 for 5 with a double. First Japanese-born player to score 2+ runs in a regular season MLB game in the Tokyo Dome in history. So I just think when it comes to Shohei, this guy is larger than life. Really in the United States, but on a different level in Japan. You can't go anywhere without seeing Shohei Ohtani's face and seeing people that literally idolize him. And to be the face of Major League Baseball, the second he signed with the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani was officially the face of baseball. To be the face of Major League Baseball and to go back to your home country of Japan as this hero, as this idolized hero with the weight of the entire nation on your shoulders and to perform, it's truly incredible. And even Shohei said it after the game. He said he was nervous. I was actually pretty nervous, was his quote. It's such a unique environment and a unique situation where I do feel that the fans are expecting me to get some hits. So that was a little bit different. And for him to be the level of stardom that he is, and to know that everyone in Japan is counting on him and idolizes him, and for him to show up in every single big moment that he's ever put himself in is unlike anything we've ever seen. I would compare what Shohei does on the biggest stage. It sort of feels like Shohei Ohtani is to baseball that Tiger Woods was to golf in his prime, that the Beatles were to music in their prime and their superstardom. That's what Shohei Ohtani is. He's Tiger Woods in his prime. He's the Beatles in their prime. It's truly remarkable to see what he's able to do. So, first Japanese-born player to score 2+ runs in a Major League Baseball game at the Tokyo Dome. Only other one to score a run is Hideki Matsui in 2004. Multiple hits in a regular season game at the Tokyo Dome. That's just Shohei Ohtani now. Ichiro in 2012 had that four-hit game, and then Hideki Matsui in 2004. So really good game for Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you guys were up and watching. Obviously, it was 6 o'clock Eastern time in the morning, 3 o'clock Pacific time in the morning. But if you were up, one thing that's impossible not to notice, and I noticed it when I was there in person watching games at the Tokyo Dome, but the way the crowd goes quiet is as as an American going to watch it, it's something I've never seen before. And last night you saw it as well, especially when Shohei Ohtani comes to the plate. You would hear this massive roar when his name is announced and the buzz of the crowd when he's in the box. And then the second that Imanaga comes set, silence. You could hear a pin drop in the crowd, just silence. And he even said, Shohei after the game said, I did notice the silence, although it didn't really bother me when I was at the plate, but I did recognize it and had to adjust a little bit. It's just, and it's almost hard to explain. And I know there's a lot of people from Japan that listen to this show, and I would love for you to hop in the comments on YouTube and explain it fully why it happens. But it's just a massive level of respect. And this person is going to work right now. And we are going to give him that space and that silence and that respect. And then the second he would do anything, he'd foul off a ball and the crowd would go, whoa, and just this massive reaction. So just so fascinating to watch the different culture and how they go about watching baseball games. But um, ended up going again 2 for 5 with a double at the plate, 2 runs scored. Afterwards, obviously said he was nervous, but did say the biggest challenge was coming into this situation was knowing that he's never played a game being in the visiting clubhouse of the Tokyo Dome. Said despite that, I'm glad I was able to put up some results. Health-wise, obviously, was rehabbing on the mound, rehabbing his shoulder all spring training as well. Health-wise, said he felt very good. He was able to slide and run without any hesitation, so he's locked and loaded and ready for game two. But a great performance offensively on the biggest stage you can. I know the World Series is one thing, but going back home to Japan, playing in the Tokyo Dome in a Dodgers uniform when he's larger than life, and to show up and perform, that's what the all-time greats do. They show up and perform in the game's biggest moments. And that's what he did here. That's what he did in the WBC when he struck out Mike Trout to win the World Baseball Classic for Team Japan. That's what he did in the playoffs, helping the Dodgers beat the Padres in that first round with that huge 3-run homer. He does it at every single turn. So not shocked that that's what he did, but a great game for Shohei. For me, this game was about the pitching. Obviously, a really cool pitching matchup. Yoshinobu Yamamoto against Shota Imanaga. In game one, both Japanese-born studs. They both joined a very short list of Japanese-born players to pitch in a regular season game at the Tokyo Dome. Yusei Kikuchi in 2019, Hideki Okajima in 2008 in relief, Daisuke Matsuzaka in 2008. And the first Major League Baseball matchup where on opening day, two Japanese-born starting pitchers were starting against each other. So just really cool all around. But that's the semantics of the start. These two guys were fantastic. They were both so fun to watch. Imanaga was unhittable, but was very uncharacteristically erratic, struggled with his command, 4 walks, a career high for him in Major League Baseball. Didn't give up a hit, didn't give up a run, but he didn't go deep into the game because he did throw a lot of pitches and because he walked a lot of guys. But unhittable. His stuff looked fantastic. He was really good, really fun to watch. But Yoshinobu Yamamoto was simply incredible. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Really just one pitch all night long that I thought was a mistake. One bad pitch, and it did hurt him. Gave up a double in the gap to what's his name? Mania? No, not Mania. But gave up a double in the gap. Amaya, there it is. Gave up a double in the gap and ended up scoring a run. But just simply fantastic. His splitter was unhittable. Uh, Splitter was averaging 2.2 miles an hour faster than it was last year. So was his fastball. So this was fascinating to me. And I don't know if it was just him being juiced up and his like nerves and his excitement and the adrenaline. But in 2024, his fastball averaged 95.5 miles an hour and his splitter 90.2 miles an hour. Well, in his first start in 2025, his fastball averaged 96.8, so 1.3 miles an hour faster, and his splitter 92.4, 2.2 miles an hour faster. He was asked about it after the game. He just said, my mechanics felt really good. Honestly, in spring training, my mechanics have felt really good. So I just think, look, this is year two. Obviously, he made a lot of money to come over here and pitch. We saw glimpses of greatness last year, but I think he's settling into himself. He's settling in. He had a full spring training and a full year under his belt now. And I think he's settling into the pitcher that he is, which I think is going to be one of the best starting pitchers in the game of baseball. He was simply outstanding in game one of the year. And I know this Dodgers team has a bunch of superstar pitchers and it has the best rotation in baseball, but Yoshinobu Yamamoto might be the best pitcher in this Dodgers rotation. Don't think he was starting game one because he's Japanese and going back to the Tokyo Dome. I think he was starting game one for that reason as well, but also because he's the best pitcher on this team potentially. He was absolutely incredible to watch. So he ended up getting the win in this game. As I mentioned, Dodgers win the game 4-1. Some other headlines of this is that Freddie Freeman was actually scratched from the lineup right before the game started, which was a shock. And kind of nobody really knew what was going on, how severe it was. He was able to talk after the game and did say during his last round of batting practice, he had some discomfort in the same area of his ribs that he hurt during the playoffs last year. Then he asked about his chances of playing in game two. He said it's much less severe, and he would give it a 75% chance that he plays. But look, that's kind of the wording that he said, and everybody kind of stood down from there. But that's a bit of concern for me. Freddie Freeman just plays. That's what he does. He plays. He's a gamer. Day in and day out, you can expect him to be in the lineup. The fact that he missed game one of the year in the Tokyo series and says it's the ribs that were bothering him last playoffs, that's not a great sign to me. And I'm not trying to be this doomsday, like, oh my God, Freddie's going to be hurt all year long. But the fact that in game one, you're dealing with the same rib injury that you were dealing with in the playoffs after all the offseason, and when Freddie Freeman misses a baseball game, that's a big deal. So I'm not expecting Freddie to miss a lot of time, but my worry is this lingering injury is just going to nag him throughout the year and bother him. And I really hope that's not the case, but we did see him miss game one. 75% chance, according to him, that he's in there for game two. And I hope that's the case. So in game one, really great pitching matchup. Yamamoto, Imanaga, really good. Dodgers end up scoring some runs on them after, Cubs get out to a 1-0 lead. Dodgers end up, once Imanaga comes out of the game, putting some runs up, and that's really all they needed. 4-1 victory. Their bullpen is outstanding. Trinan to Tanner Scott is just absolutely filthy at the back end of the bullpen. But that's it, and that's what kept me awake. It was getting sleepy here around 5 a.m. It was getting sleepy, but I did it. I don't know if I'm going to take the same approach tomorrow, or I guess later today. Who knows how I'm going to handle it, but maybe getting a little more sleep will be the way to go. Game two, though, we get Roki Sasaki against Justin Steele. Great, fun pitching matchup. Roki Sasaki from Japan, first Major League Baseball start, gets to take the ball in the Tokyo Dome against Justin Steele, just a country boy from Mississippi. Fantastic pitcher as well, but I just love the contrast of these two starting pitchers. I do want to talk about the story of Roki Sasaki because I think it's important everybody knows this. I know everybody that listens to Flippin' Bats or watches Flippin' Bats from Japan knows this story, but it's a powerful one. So I think everybody should know it. And the story of Roki Sasaki is this. He's a 23-year-old phenom. And when he was 9 years old, in 2011, he lost his father and both grandparents in the devastating tsunami in Japan in 2011. Lost his home, lost his father, lost his grandparents, who he was very close with. And at 9 years old, his mother and his two brothers and him moved to a nearby city and just had to uproot everything. And uh, there is where he became nationally famous for breaking the fastest pitch ever clocked by a Japanese high school pitcher. And that record was held by Shohei Ohtani. So he broke Shohei Ohtani's record for fastest pitch ever by a Japanese high school pitcher. Was later drafted by the Chiba Marines. Fantastic there, perfect game there. Actually, threw a perfect game. And then the very next start was perfect through 8+ innings and then got taken out because of his pitch count. So almost 18 straight perfect innings. And fantastic career there. Played for Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic, where on the anniversary of that tsunami that killed his father and his grandparents, he made a start for Team Japan in the Tokyo Dome on the anniversary, which he had always said was a dream of his to pitch for Team Japan with a Japan jersey on in the Tokyo Dome. And to do that, I remember getting up to watch that, and I was emotional watching that. Um, and then this winter signed with the Dodgers and is now set to make his major league debut back on that mound in the Tokyo Dome. And it's just truly whatever word you can think of. It's a heartbreaking story. It's a story of perseverance. I mean, you can get as cheesy as you want here when talking about how incredible it is that he's pushed through everything and is pushed through to become the baseball player that he has. But there will be, whether you're a Dodgers fan or not, there should be a small part, at least, of everyone rooting for Roki Sasaki to have a good start in his Major League Baseball debut at 23 years old after everything he has gone through. So I can't wait to see him take the mound. I also love Justin Steele. It's a great, great pitching matchup. We'll see if we get another low-scoring game. Obviously, Roki Sasaki is going to have all the nerves in the world behind him here starting game two, but we'll see how it goes. But game two here in just a few hours, game one goes to the Dodgers. These games count, my friends. The Dodgers are 1-0. The Cubbies are 0-1. They have to do a lot more offensively, the Cubs. Just never got anything going at the plate. Kyle Tucker, quiet night in his debut. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, who I am high on, also a high night for the young guy that I think is a stud. The guy making his debut over at third base, Shaw, quiet as well. So they just need their offense to pick it up, or they're going to find themselves 0-2 heading back to spring training. But game one, awesome, awesome, awesome. I am loving this Tokyo series. I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying, why would you start the game? Why would you start the season in Tokyo at 3 a.m. in the morning Pacific time, 6 a.m. Eastern time? I think that's missing the point a little bit. Baseball is a global game. The official opening day is set for March 27th, about 9 days away from now. I think it's missing the point. The game of baseball is growing exponentially. The game of baseball is trending straight upward since COVID. The game of baseball, since Shohei Ohtani has become the face of it, has grown more than anybody can put into words around the globe, and games like this help do that. So if you're for 1 second saying this is so dumb that they're playing over there and everybody's got to wake up or they're going to sleep through it, these games, I implore everyone to watch these games. They are special to watch. It is a really cool thing to see Shohei and Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki and Imanaga and Seiya Suzuki all go back home to Japan and play some real regular season baseball games over there. Really cool to watch. Game 2, we'll have more in store. We'll have another episode coming up after Game 2 just to break it all down, talk about how the series went as a whole, and hopefully see Roki Sasaki have himself a great start here in his Major League Baseball debut. But same time, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Time, and 7 p.m. Tokyo time. Game 2 of the regular season on deck. I cannot wait. Thank you all for watching and subscribing. This show means the world to me, and having you all listen and watch and subscribe, it all really, really helps. 2025 is the year of Flippin' Bats. I've been saying it for many months at this point. It's going to be an incredible year, and I hope all of you follow along and enjoy everything throughout the year. So make sure you're following, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Also on YouTube. Again, Flippin' Bats Pod is our YouTube channel. You can watch everything we do there, but leave a comment. If I know I have a lot of Japanese people that listen and watch the show, leave a comment letting me know the history behind the crowd going silent and why that happens. It's so fascinating to see. But thank you all. Make sure you're following as well on all social media. And let's do it all again. I am going to get some sleep, I think, beforehand, but I'll keep you posted after the Game 2 recap show and let you know how I did it and how I went about it. But we'll see. Game 2 here on deck. Thank you all for watching and listening. Enjoy the game. I can't wait. And until next time, find your bat and flip it. Peace.